Evening folks, how are we doing? Who's with me? I'll give you the standard couple of minutes before we get started and see if anyone cares to join in. I know we're a few seconds behind as usual. See if anyone's going to get their stretch on with me. Oh, here we go. Who is it? Are you stretching or are you just checking in? Let me know. Oh. Is there one? Is there two? Is there one? Who is it? Is it Gnomes? Squinting away. Oh, it's Paula. How are we doing? One of the key workers and Gnomes and Lauren. Cool. How are we doing? I'm just realising that I need to cut my toenails. Sorry, sharing with you. Anyone got that on their to-do list? Are we stretching out? Has it been a long week? Or has it just been kind of, let's chill out, stretch out before Friday night kicks off? What we're planning on, folks? Has anyone got any particular areas that they really need a good stretch out on? Hey, just to check in. Cool, well, it's good of you to check in. Who have I lost? Is it Lauren? Are you off to go and get some cheese and prawns? Cheese, crackers and prawns? Oh, lost her. Oh, doorbell. Oh, exciting. Who could that be? If it's for me, sorry, busy. Need to clean inside the car whilst it's sunny? Yeah, I don't blame you. I have washed my car. Also washed my dad's as well. Good child. Oh, 4 viewing figures have just skyrocketed. Maybe they heard that the doorbell has just gone off and they were checking to see who it was. Don't know, it's exciting. Something to keep me entertained at the end of this. That's a good 2 or 3 minute conversation to have, isn't it? John's in the house as well. Friday night. Good stuff. We've got a few minutes anyway, guys. You know, standard kind of things. Just going to chill out into it. Got your mats if you want to take a little bit more of a comfortable stretch on something. Got foam rollers for the last element if anyone's hanging around for foam rollers. Again, just be a whole body stretch because I think we just need that at the end of the week, don't we? Depending on what we've been up to. Are you happy with the result we had the other day, John? 2-0, still second in the league, but see what happens, shall we? Fingers crossed for next season, be Premier League. There is a little bit of a delay, so I'll let you guys catch up. Right, standard kind of stuff, you know, my legs are always shot. So I tend to spend a little bit of time on the legs. Wendy's joined us. Wendy, how are your legs after spending some time on a spin bike? Are they in dire need of being stretched out or are they treating you quite well? Got another minute, then we're going to get going. If I do stand up, I don't know whether I lose my head or not. So we'll find out when we get through that bit, but don't panic. If we do, I'll duck down a little bit so you can see what's going on. Soon as I get the 15 on my clock, I will press play. We'll have a little bit of music on the go and then we'll get stretching. Not bad, not bad. Right, let's see if the music's at the right audio. And let's get going. So I'm going to stay down on the ground. If you guys want to stand up for the upper body part, that's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to be on my knees and I'm just basically going to sit my bum on my heels more or less. My toes are in the floor and I'm just going to sit in this position. It's entirely up to you whether you stand or whether you find that a little bit too uncomfortable or what. Your thighs are tight, good, knees and hips. I'm very glad you can get started. Yeah, okay, I bet they are. Well, we'll go through a whole body stretch, Wendy, don't panic. I'm driving up through the heels of my hands overhead. And then just from there, all I'm going to do is just a slight tilt to my left and a slight tilt to my right. So I'm going to stretch out the spine a little bit, a bit through the shoulders. Even feel a bit of a pull in the triceps, running through the armpit, all the way down the obliques as well. If you're standing, then you might get a little bit in the ITB and the hamstrings a touch, but I will stretch those out, so don't panic if you are staying on your knees for this element. From there, I'm just going to relax my arms down and then loop them down behind me, pushing away and squeezing my shoulder blades together. And just holding that stretch so my arms are away from my back side. Then I'm just going to relax them, and I'm going to tense and push them away. Keeping my chin lifted and keeping my shoulder blades squeezed together, so I'm really getting the squeeze between those blades and my shoulders are pulled back. Now I'm just going to relax. I'm going to do it again. From there I'm going to relax, and I'm going to drive back up to the ceiling through the heels of my hands, so just up overhead. And I'm just going to push all the way through my fingertips this time. And I'm going to just relax my arms down. Take one arm across the face of the body, and I'm just above the elbow, or the wrist side of the elbow, and I'm pulling this across the front of my chest. Just going to relax down, take a little bit of load out of my toes this time. And then relax that arm down, and then cross the other arm across the face of your body. We'll do that a few times just to get the arms a bit more supple, and push the other arm across the front of the body. Feeling it in the top of the shoulder. Feeling it again back of the arm, so running through the tricep. Change sides. Just getting a nice old release. Those arms down. Take the arms wide and then drop them down in front of you. So nice and wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then relax them down from there. So smooth, controlled movements. Again, you can do this standing if you want to, so don't worry about being on your knees. Nice and controlled. Now for the next element, I'm going to go back onto my knees, so I'm sitting on my toes this time. And I'm just going to relax and just take my arms and twist them side to side. Just letting my hands and my arms hang loosely and just letting them pivot around me. Again, if you're standing, you should get a little bit of rotation through the hips. From there, just push the heels of the hands away from you and drop your chin to chest. Really driving through the heels of the hands, and then relax. You see how my shoulders are changing? So push away and then relax and squeeze them back. So push them away and then relax and squeeze them back. And then what you can do from there is some slow controlled shoulder rolls. So I'm up and back and squeeze, and then release at the front. So up, back and squeeze. And then change direction, so get the shoulders rolling forwards. So shoulder roll forwards. Do whatever you need to, whatever's comfortable, most comfortable with the hands. So try and keep them relaxed rather than squeezing them into a fist, because we don't want to put too much tension in the muscles. We want to try and relax them and stretch them out. From there, all I'm going to do, a bit of a tricep stretch. So taking palm of my hand between, just holding onto the elbow and pulling it slightly closer towards my ear. And you should feel a release in that tricep. Once you've done the one side, then nice open release, and then change. Once you've done that, again, open the release, nice and wide, slowly transition to the other side again. So get those stretches. If you can, just walk the fingertips a little bit lower, down between the shoulder blades, just to get that touch more depth in the stretch. Open them nice and wide and then change again. One side always tends to be a little bit tighter than the other. Relax the arms down, and again, just let the arms hang loose and swing them controlled around the body. Okay, let's open those arms nice and wide. And then cross them behind you again and push away. Really getting the most out of those chest and shoulder stretches. Drive the hands up overhead. And then relax them down. Okay, so what you can do now, if you want to sit cross-legged, down the ground, we'll do a couple more of the shoulder stretches. So again, take that arm across the front, feel the pinch, probably in that top shoulder, and then relax and then change over. And then relax. Okay, let's start to get a little bit more into the legs now, okay? So staying down on the ground, all I want you to do, set the legs out in front of you. We're going to start off nice and controlled. Just glide the fingertips down the shins towards the toes and then slowly back up from there. So we're going to ease into these stretches nice and slowly. So control, sliding down, fingertips down to the shins and then to the toes, and then control on the way back up. So we're going to nice controlled movements, not trying to force it. Get the hamstrings a little bit warmer before we get a little bit deeper into these stretches. And then what we will do is we'll start to hold the stretches a little bit too. Next time when you get down to your toes, reach as far through as you can and hold that position. So hold that position. I'm not grabbing onto my toes, I'm just literally resting my palms on my toes if you can reach that far. If not, just rest your palms on wherever you are. They could be the lowest shin, might even be the knee. Just depends on your range of flexibility and how tight your hamstrings are. Release slowly out of it. And we're going to do that again. So glide down through shins to toes, lean through a little bit more this time if you can. Again, I'm still not pulling on my toes, just relaxing my hands over the top of them. And then slowly ease back. Next time we do that, we are going to grab hold of the toes and we're going to slowly pull them towards us. So good release on the calves. So it's a good calf release, this one. So if you have been running or if you've been cycling a lot, you might find your calves quite tight. It's a good way to release the calves. So just, you can do one at a time if you want to. I've just got my fingers looped over so my fingers are on the sole of my foot and I'm using the heel of my hand on my toes and I'm just leaning into it. Again, if it's easy to do one at a time, you can always do it standing and do like a calf raise. Hold that stretch. From there, just slowly release the feet and sit back up into it. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time. So reach down, get the grip. If you can, try and lean into it a little bit more as you use the heels of your hands, so on the palm, and bring those toes towards you. You should feel it really in the back of the calves. It's also running up the back of my hamstrings as well. Just depends on how tight everything is. Slowly release that and sit up out of it. Nice one. So, next one we're going to do, you take one foot, put the sole of the foot on the inside of the thigh, and again we're just going to reach down to that one foot, okay? You can grab onto the bottom of the foot if you want to, and again you're trying to get your chest as low to that thigh as you can. Some of you may be able to get that thigh chest right down to the thigh. Some of you may have a gap like me. It does depend on that flexibility. This one's a really good one to get into that one hamstring. So we've got more focus on stretching the one hamstring out on this one. So don't go too deep into it too soon. We don't want to pull it, we just want to stretch it. Breathe through it, and as you breathe out, see if you can get a little bit lower into it. I'm just going to hold it a touch longer, and then we're going to ease out of it. So get ready to ease out. So slowly ease back up out of it. We're going to change sides now. So put sole of the foot on the inner thigh. Reach down and grab onto that foot if you can. If you can't, grab the back of the calf, whatever you need to, and stay down in that position. Again, we're going to hold it, and then what we'll do is we'll take a deep breath in, and as we breathe out, you're going to try and get a little bit lower and deeper into the stretch. So get ready to take that breath. So in, out, and drop a little bit lower if you can. Nice, really decent hamstring stretch there. Slowly come back out of that. We're going to do that again. So go back to the original leg. Just going to give you a different position there. So I've got that foot on the inner thigh. I'm going to reach down for that foot and just dropping my chest down as low as I can. Get the stretch first before we kind of take that breath and try and get a little bit deeper into it. So get ready to breathe in, and as you breathe out, see if you can get a touch lower. Few more seconds before we release out of this stretch and we change sides. So nice slow release, and we're going to change. So leg goes out, change, sole of the foot in there, reach down and get your chest as low as you can. Again, don't worry if you're nowhere near where I am, or if you're even deeper into it, good for you. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, drop a touch lower. Slowly sit up out of it. Okay, good job guys. So, soles of the feet together, bring them nice and close, and just try and relax those knees. So we're going to open up the hip flexors. So try and get those knees as low as you can. Again, some of you may be able to touch the floor with your knees, some of us not so flexible, so just do the best you can with what you've got. And whilst you're there, sit up nice and straight, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Feeling that really in the groin, so those hip flexors. And if you want to, just push the feet away from you a touch, and then try and bring your chest down a little bit lower into it. So I'm taking my feet a little bit further away from the groin, but I'm leaning further forward over the top of it this time. How are we feeling that? Are we feeling that in the hip flexors? And then bring them back in towards the groin a touch and sit more upright with the shoulders back. Right, just relax those legs off. From here, get onto one knee, take the one leg nice and long. Again, we're working on the hamstrings. So I'm just going to point my toes up towards the ceiling and I'm going to sit nice and low into it. And I'm just going to drop my elbows to the floor if I can. Okay, so you just get to wherever you need to be. I'm supporting myself on my elbows. I've relaxed my foot on the my bent leg, my straight leg. I've got my toes pointing towards the ceiling. Just again, I'm opening up that hip as well as getting my inner thigh and my hamstrings released too. Once you're on that side, slowly ease up and then we're going to change. So I'm relaxing that foot down, toes towards the ceiling. I'm on my elbows, but again, if you find it a little bit better to be more upright, then that's what you need to do. Slowly bring that knee underneath you. We're going to take the knees wide, again working on the hip flexors. So knees wide, feet facing out, and again I'm going to drop. Oh, I'm going to drop to my elbows. I can really feel that in my hips. So push your butt towards the back of the room, and you're going to really hit the hip flexors a little bit more. It's a nice lower body stretch. When I say nice, it's not pleasant, but it really will work and help to loosen things up a little bit. Now I'm just going to support myself on my hands and just push my body weight up a little bit, and then slowly bring those knees back in. Okay? From there, I'm just going to ease off into child's pose just to give that a little bit of a chance to relax. So taking my fingertips and walking them away from me. I'm on my knees, feet are flat, and I'm trying to push my chest down towards the ground, resting my elbows and my forearms on the floor. I'm pushing that chest down towards the floor as well. I'm going to get a little bit of a chest stretch, an upper back stretch. I'm also stretching right through the armpits into the back of the triceps as well, and shoulders. So it's a good one just to get a good upper body stretch as well as lower back, little bit of quads. From there, all I'm going to do, take the shin, cross in front of me like that hurdle stretch, but I'm going to keep a nice long leg at the back. Really going to work the glute out in this one. So you can take your hands wide to support yourself. You can always bring that back leg into a 90 degree, just like the front leg if you want to. And I'm going to take my hands wide and I'm just going to try and drop my chest down. Option is to drop onto your elbows if you can get a little bit more depth and lower yourself down into that stretch. Or if you'd rather support yourself with your hands because it's a little bit too much, then support yourself with your hands. It's a great one for getting the most out of it. Again, probably the top of your hamstrings, a big one on the glutes. So I'm really feeling it in that glute on my right side. So on this side, so the leg is bent. Trying to keep my hips square to the floor as well, so not twisting off. And just breathe through it. No, it's not the most pleasant position to hold because if everything's tight, it's like there's somewhere to relax. You should just feel a little bit of a change in the muscles though as you hold that position. Once you've done that, slowly lift your chest up, bring that leg out, and then we're going to change sides. So bring the other leg through, get a nice long length in that back leg. Again, option to support yourself on your hands or your elbows, and then just feel the stretch. So it's here where you're going to be feeling it. mainly. Try and keep as close to a 90-degree bend on that front shin as you possibly can, just to get the most out of it. That one's quite tight. Oh. Now what we can do is slowly ease up out of that one. Do a little bit more. We're going to hit our quads as well as the hip flexors again. So get a 90-degree bend on that front leg, push the hips into it. So you're driving basically your tailbone down, pushing your hips into it. And if you want to get a touch more out of this stretch, hold on to that back leg and you're going to feel the stretch again in the hip flexor a touch, but also in that quad there. Drive the heels on the front foot down to the ground and try not to push that knee past 90 degrees. So it's a nice strong position and you're going to get that stretch out of mainly quad here. Can you feel that? I can really feel that in my quad. Ouchie. Relax that foot, and then what you can do is just ease off into that hamstring stretch. Again, if you want to pull on the toes and make it a hamstring and a calf stretch, you can do. Once we've done the one side, you know how it rolls. Got another side to do. So bring the other legs through, get into that strong position to begin with. Make sure you've got a 90-degree bend there. Option to hold on to that back foot. Again, you should get a quad release. If you're not holding the back foot, that's fine. You're still going to get the hip flexor release in this front one here. So just do what you've got to do to keep your balance. Try and keep your chest lifted. And feel that quad. I can really feel that quad. I don't think anyone likes stretching. This is good for you though. And you may have found out over the however many weeks it's been that your flexibility or your recovery should be a little bit better if you are doing your stretching more regularly. If you're not, you're probably finding you're seizing up a lot. Because how many of you, if you're on Les Mills on demand, how many of you get to call down and go, nah? Relax that leg off and we'll go into the hamstring stretch. Right, we're getting to the bit that I like. I'm going to stretch out over inner thighs. Each week I'm trying to get a little bit lower into my stretches so it gives the chance, once we've warmed our hamstrings up, to really get the most about our glutes. Outer thighs, inner thighs and hamstrings. So slowly, all I want you to do, start off with your feet just in a wide stance, but don't go to your widest stretch yet. We're still warming up into it, okay? And all I want you to do is just put the heels of your hands down, and we're just going to move our body weight forward and backwards. We're still keeping our feet flat on the floor. So just slow tilts forward and backwards, just to get the joints a little bit more supple, just to give everything a chance just to ease off before we try and take it a little bit wider. So all I want you to do a little bit, take a heel toe wider on both sides if you can, and just stay there. So just stay there. Breathe through it. I'm not putting too much body weight into my hands, so I should still be able to lift my hands without having to adjust too much weight. Okay? Again, if you can, take your feet a little bit wider. Just a little bit, only to the point where you can feel the stretch. Okay? Not to the point where you think you're doing yourself any damage. Don't want anyone doing any damage to themselves. So slowly just tilt the body weight forwards and backwards, just to put the load in and then take the load out of the inner thighs, the hip flexors and the hips. going. Now if you think you've got anything more in you, by all means try and go a little bit wider, but I think I'm probably at my absolute max at the moment, so I'm going to stay put. Don't want to risk it. Ooh. How's that feeling? You getting the most out of that one? Ooh. Right, now we're not going to rush it, so slowly bring the feet back underneath you, bit at a time, okay, until we can get into a sitting position and lift your chest. I'm going to push the heels of my hands together again, just to get that little bit more out of my hips. Try and do is we'll try and go back into that stretch one more time. So just for now, put your hands on the floor, just lift through your legs, so you're getting the length in your legs again before we go anywhere. And then little by little, walk your feet away from you until you get to the maximum of your stretch. And then hold it. Has that allowed you to go any deeper, or were you at your maximum prior to that? Just slowly rocking forwards and backwards. Now what I do want to stretch out is also my ITB. So slowly walk those feet in, and then what you're going to do, slowly come up to standing. Now we may lose my head at that point, so I'm not going to stand up totally. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cross one foot behind the other, and I'm going to go into an ITB stretch. So I'm pushing my hips in opposite directions the way I'm tilted. I'm just going to stretch out my ITB. Once you've done the one side, change. Slowly unravel and then sit back down into that squat with the palms of the hands together and drive the knees out. And then last one, go back out into that split stance. And then just hold it there. If you can, or if you want to, you can drop down to your elbows. And just finish it there. Last few seconds, guys. Back onto the palms of your hands, slowly bring the feet back together to about outside shoulder distance, and then just get the straight legs. Straight legs, give them a second or two. And then you can take a chill out. Guys, if that's what you're here to do is just stretch, well then well done, you've completed your 30 minutes of stretch. Done a bit of everything, upper body and finishing with the lower body. Big old go over the hamstrings. So I hope that that's given you a little bit of relief if you've been struggling with those. As always, if you've got any particular areas that you are struggling with, pop it in the comments, and I'm sure that when we do another stretch class, we'll be able to cover those for you. If you're hanging about for foam roller, And we're just going to cover the basics again, guys, so it's pretty much standard. If you want to watch me roll around for about 5 to 10 minutes whilst I do my ITBs, that's perfectly fine, and by all means join in. The principles will be the same across any major muscle group. So whatever rolls I do, if you think, you know what, that's not particularly a problem for me, then no problem. Aim for a different area, okay? So, as always, team, if you are leaving me now, have a fantastic Friday night and weekend. Any comments, positive, negative, or indifferent, pop it in the comment box below and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, have a pleasant one. But for those of you joining me, get them out. Okay, ITB is where I tend to struggle at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be on the side of my leg, which is where the ITB is, and I'm going to just slowly roll just above my knee and then back down again. Now you don't have to put full body weight on at all. I'm just using my other leg to balance on the floor, and I'm just going to try and see if I've got any particular niggly areas. If I do find an area that causes me a lot of discomfort, I'm going to try and be brave about it, and I'm going to try and roll it out. And what that means is when you find a particular point of issue, is stay as you are and then slowly, oh there we go, I'm tilting towards it. Oh, that's a good one tonight. Found where the muscle is really tight, there's a potential knot, and I just need to try and work through it. Now I'm finding that at the moment is what's causing me quite a big pull on my knee. So it's not actually my knee that's the problem, it's my ITB. And I found that if I'm quite good and I do roll it out on a daily basis, I don't get the knee pain when I'm doing my running. But if I don't roll it out, I can feel it. So before it becomes too big an issue, you need to stay on top of these things. Oh, that is a real good one today. That's because I haven't rolled it in the past 2 days. I got lazy. Oh, okay, so all I'm doing now is I'm just trying to find that point and it's moving. So when I found that it's a little bit less of a discomfort in a particular area that I started on, I've got to relocate it because it hasn't always been worked out. It's just shifted. If you get to the point where you're kind of rolling going, where's it gone? You may well have solved the problem. That's a good thing, but it is daily maintenance. Daily maintenance. It's like if you're going on a long journey in the car, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to check your lights, supposed to check your water, supposed to check your petrol, supposed to check all fuel, supposed to check a whole bunch of things. So in the same respects, if you're doing a really, really big workout, what should you do? You should make sure your body's ready for it. And how do we do that? Maintenance. It's by stretching, it's by rolling, it's by warming up properly as well. Right, slow controlled rolling. That's still a bit of a problem for me. I'm really going to have to work on that. You might find that those muscles are slipping. That's just the knot working through that you've got to try and keep on top of. Again, I can't afford to put my full body weight on it. It's too tight, too painful. And you don't have to get results. Don't think you've got to go heavy-handed and literally just cause yourself all sorts of distress, because trust me, this isn't pleasant. So if I was just to go 100 miles an hour, put the whole body weight on it, probably wouldn't be talking to you right now, I'd be screaming. It is the legs we tend to spend a lot of time on. So if you've been doing a lot of upper body workouts, then yeah, you can still do the same on the upper body. Just never roll over a bone or a joint. Always roll in the muscle groups. It's becoming a little bit easier. So you guys are doing me a big favour because I'm having to work on it. Really? I'd probably be going, nah. But I'd pay for it in the next workout that I did. Right, once you've worked on the one, it's always good to check the other. You may find though that is the one side that you've got bigger problems on because it tends to compensate for the other side. So I tend to be right side dominant, so most of my problems will be on my right side. Whereas left side, don't get me wrong, it works, but it probably doesn't take the same load because lazy. So when you train free weights, you get the chance to train with dumbbells. It's always good because if you have got one side stronger than the other, you don't get away with the dominant side pulling up the weaker side because obviously they're working independently. Same with lunges and stuff like that. They're always going to test both sides of the body. With squats, you can sometimes overload the one side compared to the other. You try not to, or you should try not to. Yeah, that side seems to have a couple of issues this week. Again, if you've got any particular areas that you want to focus on when it comes to foam rolling, please do comment and we'll try our best to cover what you need to cover rather than just what I need to cover, because I could be here all day with my legs. Right, I'm going to do my quads next. I'm going to do a 2-for-1 deal just so I don't bore you all to death. Starting just above the knee, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it up just to the top of the quads and then back down again. Quite lucky that the quads are playing ball at the moment. Seems to be the ITB that's taking the bigger battering. Again, you may find that you need to do one at a time to get a little bit more out of it, so I'll just test that out. Not too bad. Oh, left one's not very happy. Oh yeah, left one doesn't like that. So, I'm supporting myself on my right leg as I roll my left leg out. I think I've got a bit of work to do over the weekend. And then what you can do is just check the knees. Again, I'm not rolling my knees out. All I do is I just roll it, put it in the back of the knee bend, and then just check it out from there, because sometimes they can give me a little bit of a niggle, but it usually is my ITB. So again, the best thing you can do is don't always settle for where you think the pain is. So if you're struggling with your calves, it might not be the calves that are the problem, it could be your shins. It could be your calves, don't get me wrong, but you need to work the whole kind of area just to iron out any particular problems you may or may not have. Guys, it's been a pleasure. As always, you know the rules. Any feedback, positive, negative or indifferent, and hit up the comment box below. Hope you have a really good weekend no matter what you're up to. Don't forget, there's no lives on a Saturday, but there are on a Sunday, so we won't see you tomorrow, but we will on Saturday, Sunday. You got Mark, you got me, and you got the other Heather, so check in with us, and let's hope the weather's decent for the weekend, team. Happy Friday.